Today on Bending Jeeps, we're servicing my Predator 3500 watt generator. It's about time. It's got 1,000 hours on it, and we've only done 3 or 4 oil changes, so let's see what that spark plug looks like too. My big blue hauler's been sitting idle for a little bit while we've taken care of some family matters, and I decided today was a prime time to get out and service this trusty rusty old generator, which I just noticed it's got a little over 1,000 hours on it. So let's show this baby off. We'll go ahead and start it up. It's probably going to get loud, and we'll see how many hours it's got. So that's 1,006 hours. I'll turn it off so it doesn't get too hot. But this plug here goes to a 12-volt radiator fan on the backside of the generator box. So whenever the generator's running, the radiator fan's running. And that plug goes to my house power. So we're going to undo another lock, super secret hidden lock on this, and pull it out of the box. Our Predator 3500's lived underneath the back of this bus now for almost a year. It's been trapped in its generator box, ridden in all kind of weather, in dust, fair and poor weather alike. It's run all the time. We're 1,000 hours on it in about a year. So we're going to do an oil change today, check the spark plug, check the spark arrestor, and see what that air filter looks like too. It's time to take care of this baby. So I've pre-loosened the 2 side cover screws, only because I can't hold a camera and unscrew stuff at the same time. You lift up this rubber flap and this button pops out of the cover so that you can grab hold of it and pull it out. Come on, you. All right. So we've got 2 rubber grommets here and here that these posts go into. That's what helps hang it on too. And you got your tabs in the bottom to keep it lined up. So what do we got? We got some oil on the cover. 2 spots. One is a spot that joins up with the air filter, so it'll be interesting to see what's in there. Then we've got our spark plug here. We've got some oil underneath this valve cover here, so we may have valve cover gasket going a little bad. That's 1,000 hours. It's not crazy. Then you got your oil drain right here, and your oil fill right here. And then underneath, you can see the little window where there's a rubber plug from the factory to let the oil drain out. So I've already lost that rubber plug a long time ago. And I got my little sandwich meat container here to catch my oil. I think it's 20 ounces or so of oil, and we'll see how much comes out of this baby. So let me go get some more tools together, and we'll take this baby apart. So I already used my good ratchet to break this loose. And we're going to pull this 10mm plug out and see what our oil looks like when it comes draining out. And that is some dark looking oil. We'll crack this open so it vents out better. Ugh. Well, gotta take care of it, right? Well, it's pretty horrible. It's not the most horrible thing I've ever done. So we'll let this drain for a little bit and pull the spark plug out next. So next is the spark plug. And I already pulled this loose with some pliers because it was on pretty tight. I'm going to tuck this out of the way. You see our spark plug down there. I'm going to use the supplied spark plug socket. And a screwdriver in there to give it some torque. Ah! And broke that loose. So let's see what this OEM plug looks like after 1,000 hours. Is it burnt? Is it fresh looking? Is it covered with carbon? Let's see here. So I think what these pictures of the spark plugs have shown us is at 1,000 hours, there's not a really noticeable use on the torch spark plug that came out of it. The electrode's still in good shape. There's no carbon fouling. I think it's been running pretty good. We're still going to replace it with this new NGK because I've read good things about it online. And 1,000 hours, let's just take care of it for a couple bucks. Also, the oil change is almost all drained out, and we're going to be using some Valvoline High Mileage 1030. Also suggested online. 1030 is one of the weights that this thing can use. So with the weather we'll be going through, I felt like it was the best option. So let me start putting some stuff back together. Before you put your spark plug in, you gap it, and you should coat the threads with some anti-seize. I'm all out of anti-seize, so we're just going to put this back in the way it came from the factory, dry. And we're going to gently turn it in to make sure the threads engage smoothly. We don't cross-thread it. And then, once it's turned in enough that you're confident it's threaded in nice and smooth, we'll go ahead and put a little torque to it. And we don't want to over-torque it, because we don't want to strip threads, nice aluminum threads. Boink, out it comes. Put our spark plug wire back on until it snaps into position. I think that did it. There we go. I felt it seat that time. Now, I have had before where I've done a spark plug on a generator, and it's run, and then that popped off hours later. So, if your generator mysteriously shuts off or sputtering when you pull the cover off, check. That's one of the things to check. Lesson learned from me. Don't forget to put your oil plug back in before you add oil. You think it's funny, but I actually did a whole Jeep oil change like that one time. Oh no, wait. I did put the oil plug in. I forgot to put the filter on it. And I added the oil to my Jeep. I was in such a hurry, and I cranked it up, and it pumped all my oil, my brand new oil, out onto the ground of my shop. All right. That's torqued good too. The next step is refilling our oil. Now, am I going to film me literally pouring oil into this? Nah. You guys know what pouring oil looks like. All right, class, something else. All right, how many ounces are in a quart? Right? We need 20 ounces for this generator. The quart's 32 ounces. And it has this handy strip on the side. So I know there's 32 ounces in there. And I need to leave 12 in there to have my full 20 in my generator. So we're going to try that out and see how close that gets us to max. Here we go. All right, like I said, I'm not showing you pouring oil. So if you use the filter or the oils measurement, I should be right on. But as you can see, I've got a little bit coming out of this generator. So I'll let this kind of self-level for a little bit. And then probably tilt it, pour a little bit out, and then check the level. Over a little bit's not a big deal. A good man once showed me on the small Predator that you basically fill it up until you can see it in the threads there. So a little over, not a big deal. I've never taken this air filter apart. I'm just looking at the bottom. It's got a little clip. That pops loose. What else comes loose? You guys, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Someone should be here helping me. But I guess not, huh? This is the part where Travis is a little disappointed in himself. So I turned off the camera to wrestle that cover out. Turns out, just take the clip off the hose, slide the hose off, the cover comes right out. Then you've got the gray foam air filter, that pops right out. In my case, I looked at it, it had a little oil in it, so I sprayed it off with some cleaner and let it dry out, then reverse the process, put it back together. The oil came from the valve cover. It's got a vent hose that goes from the valve cover to the air filter. If I thought it was a bigger problem, I would cut that hose and put some sort of catch system in between the valve cover and the air filter to let the oil drip in and let the vapors continue onto the air filter. I don't think it's that big a deal. If it becomes a problem in the future, I'll figure some system out to keep the oil from getting in there. But just disappointed. Looked back through my files. No mention of how I did this air filter. So, all right. Disappointed in me. It's okay, though. So I've already loosened up these two 8mm a little bit, just for time's sake. No one needs to see me fighting with a little tiny ratchet. And so that's part of the spark arrestor. That's one part of it. Now what some people miss is the little cone that's in there. So, or did I take that out some time ago? Might have done that. Oh, nope, there it is. Alright. So, just being careful because I don't know if it'd still be hot for me cranking it up earlier, but you can pretty much, can you see through that? Yeah, you can see through that a little bit. So this baby was not that bad as far as carbon goes. I can't remember the last time I cleaned it. What I am going to do is hose it with a little bit of this carburetor cleaner. So there we go. And we'll let that dry off a little bit. I don't think it matters. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in because it's going to be dry by the time we get this thing assembled to fire it up. This one here, I'll give this a little shot too. Now I have had these be a little gummed up before, so nice to see they're in good shape. I don't know if it's good clean gas or constant use. Maybe it's because when we run it, we usually run it for a couple hours, so everything gets nice and hot. I don't know. So that is the last chore to be done on this thing. So we've got the spark plug changed, air filter cleaned, oil changed, and the spark arrestor. Is there anything else left to do to these things? I suppose if you want to get really into it, you could check your valve cap. But I think we're running too good for that. So let's see what happens now when we crank it up. Choke, fire. So that was my version of a 1,000-hour service on this Predator. We've done the spark plug, air filter, oil, and cleaned up spark arrestor. 1,000 hours on this generator seems like a lot to me, and it's been very faithful. You can't hardly beat these Harbor Freight generators for efficiency and cost. Our first one we had, we ran that for probably a year. It started sputtering. And because I had the warranty, just took it back and I paid for the new warranty and got a completely brand new generator. This one, I thought, let's try and see how long we can make this run. We have a 2-year warranty and we're only a year into it. So we'll see how it goes. Well, thanks for hanging out with me while I did my generator tune-up. And we'll see you on the next Bending Jeeps. Hopefully, we're out bending Jeeps somewhere. That'd be great. So has anybody got a tip on when's the next time I should do an oil change on this thing? I mean, 100 hours is what the book says. And we did 1,000 hours on the spark plug. So let's see at another 1,000 hours what that spark plug looks like. But until then, I think I'm done here. I just got to screw some covers on and put it back in the box. Y'all have a good day. That clip of my generator hitting over 4,000 watts, that was from trail riding at Black Mountain in Kentucky. My friend Jason's tie rod separated on his Jeep. My friend Eddie said he could weld it if we had a welder. My friend Glenn said he had a welder back at camp, so we zoomed back to camp, grabbed the welder, yanked the generator out of my bus, and zoomed back up the trail. Eddie did a great job welding it, and Jason's Jeep survived to trail ride the rest of the week. So it's a long way from Florida to Kentucky to go trail riding and miss out on a day of your riding because of a broken tie rod. We did a good job. We got it back going. And the generator did a great job too.